Hello and welcome to Sci-Fi Night LIGHT, where I talk about random topics that somehow relate to sci-fi and horror. It's finally summer. For those of you watching this, that might not be a big deal, but keep in mind that I live in Sweden, which most of the year is kind of like the lands of always winter in Game of Thrones. Now that it's nice and warm, it's a perfect time to head off to the beach and take a swim. Or so it would be if we weren't all subconsciously thinking that the shark from Jaws would rip us to shreds.
Did you see that?
The Steven Spielberg classic from 1975 terrified audiences when it was first released and has left a lasting impact on cinema worldwide. Such a large impact, in fact, that tons of lesser directors have ripped it off. So, in celebration of summer, just when we thought it was safe to get back in the water, let's check out some Jaws ripoffs. If you want to see our video on Alien ripoffs, just click the annotation on the screen. So let's start off with the most blatant case of plagiarism so far, the 1995 film Cruel Jaws by Italian B-movie schlock Lord Bruno Mattei. In a typical Italian ripoff fashion, this movie was also pretty falsely marketed as Jaws 5, Cruel Jaws. And in between this and Alien 2, Italy isn't really doing that well as a market for original monster horror.
This is not the place, nor the time.
If you've seen Jaws, then you already know the exact plot of this film. A coastal town is terrorized by an enormous shark and risks losing everything unless the local sheriff, an amusement park owner, and a shark expert can successfully get rid of the beast. As far as Italian ripoffs go, this could very well be one of the most shameful cases of plagiarism ever. We're going to continue with another film I'm sure the Italians aren't all that proud of, the 1981 film Great White, also known as The Last Shark. In this film, a shark terrorizes a tourist resort, prompting a shark expert to save the day.
I want the shark all over the world.
All while the local government isn't too keen on scaring off the tourists. If that sounds familiar, it's because once again, it's more or less the exact plot to Jaws, and we're not the only ones to think so. Universal actually sued the filmmakers and got the movie pulled from cinemas. Still to this day, you can only get a hold of it via bootlegs and online pirating.
And the Oscar goes to...
How Cruel Jaws managed to get away without being sued is way beyond me. The 1977 Mexican/British film Tintorera changes things up just a little bit by featuring a tiger shark instead of a great white, and by adding loads of sleazy and gratuitous nudity. But other than that, it's a pretty clear subpar ripoff of a Spielberg classic that doesn't really offer anything new.
You seem upset.
One film that does do something a little bit differently though is the 1976 film Mako, The Jaws of Death. Okay, sure, the title is just downright absurdly plagiaristic, but just wait till we get to the plot and you'll understand the difference. This film is about some asshole who develops a telepathic connection to sharks, and goes full-on supervillain by using the power to get revenge of people who have wronged him, as well as people who are out to get sharks.
In a moment of danger, deadly sharks once saved his life. Now he lives and kills as one of them, blood brother in a mysterious shark cult.
I actually kind of like the idea of a film more or less having an evil Aquaman as the villain, but the film itself isn't all that great. Still has some fun moments though.
Filmed without the benefit of cages, mechanical sharks, or other protective devices.
We're going to continue with the master of schlock, Dino De Laurentiis, and his 1977 film Orca, the Killer Whale. This cheesy-ass film is about a killer whale whose young gets killed by humans and then proceeds to exact revenge on the ones who did it. And I can't really blame the whale for that. Interestingly enough though, while orcas are known to kill sharks and other whales, there is actually not a single fatal documented case of a killer whale knowingly harming a human that severely in the wild. All fatal cases of orca to human violence have occurred at SeaWorld and other evil institutions in captivity.
In some respects, the orca's intelligence may be even superior to man's. They remain loyal to one mate for life. As parents, they are exemplary, better than many human beings. And like human beings, they have a profound instinct for vengeance.
Anyway, enough of my hippie-ass vegan propaganda. This film actually fires shots at Jaws by describing the beast as a destroyer of sharks.
There's only one creature in the world that can do that. A killer whale.
And strangely enough, this is actually a pretty damn fun film. Yeah, it's super cheesy and silly, but if you like schlocky monster films, then you could very well have a fun time with this.
He followed you. He saw you on the deck of the boat.
They always remember the human being who had tried to harm them.
We're gonna finish off with the most modern entry on the list, the 2009 film Jaws in Japan, which really doesn't pull any punches when revealing which film inspired it. The film was actually retitled Psycho Shark when released on a DVD in the US because, well, I guess we saw what happened with Great White and didn't want to get sued. Well, this film should be a lot of fun. My god, does it suck. First off, the film is 1 hour and 6 minutes long, which is a pretty bad sign. Second, this is more or less a found footage film centered around a couple of very scantily clad ladies on vacation being stalked by a creepy ass guy in the distance. Third, the film takes place almost entirely on land. Seriously, whoever made this film, you don't make a shark film that takes place on land and is mostly in hotel rooms. What the fuck? Now, admittedly, a shark does actually show up in the film, completely randomly and about 30 seconds before the film ends, but this is just lazy and dishonest exploitation. The movie is 1 hour long, but feels like 2, and it has an IMDb rating of 1.5. Yeah, that's right, 1.5.
What the fuck is this?
So yeah, that about wrapped things up, and what's your favorite Jaws ripoff? There are just so many that we didn't have time for. Mine is definitely Orca the Killer Whale. It's a ton of fun. But, like I said, that about does it for this episode of Sci-Fi Night LIGHT, and I'm signing out.
Between the two most dangerous animals on Earth,
What in hell are you?
man and orca.